Anyway, let's go see what's happening in the rest of the world. The Argentinians are getting absolutely hammered by Uruguay. However, they are sending 49,000 troops after this 9,000 stack. This is going to be quite interesting. But instead of actually going for the root cause, they are deciding to get back their capital. So, gee, the Uruguayans have occupied quite a significant piece of land there. What else do we have? Peru's going after Ecuador. That's going to be a pretty decisive victory for Peru. However, that's going to be some very nice land as well. So we may see the Peruvians going up against Colombia very soon. However, Colombia does have quite a bit of development, so it will be interesting. Brazil, looking like the ever peaceful giant, has not made any territorial gains or losses. Quite good. Bolivia has remained... They look slightly weird, but they have remained the same. Paraguay and Uruguay have still remained the same, though that is soon to change. Ecuador is completely out of the picture now. It looks like the Dominican Republic has occupied Haiti, which is quite interesting. No, it's not Haiti, it's Haiti. I learnt that the hard way, unfortunately for me. Belize looks like it's going to fall to Mexico quite suddenly. Mexico just kind of stormed in, took Guatemala, El Salvador, and most of Honduras while we weren't looking at our Belize. I was expecting that, but it happened very suddenly. So, where else can we talk about? Well, let's consult our little current wars menu here. The Indonesian-Bruneian War. As we predicted, Sarawak, and I didn't predict this, but all of the Malayan Peninsula has gone to Indonesia. I would not have thought that. I thought Thailand may have taken Kedah, or maybe Kelantan and Perak, but apparently not. And Brunei, they're going to get destroyed, but their 9,000 troops are going to do some work in northern Borneo before that happens. So China took everything up to Sikkim, and including Sikkim, which is Koch, and I don't know what part of the region this is, but Bagalpur. They also moved into Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. I do believe that is the area there. And Arunachal Pradesh and most of northern Myanmar and most of eastern Myanmar has actually fallen, as we can see here. And that's a significant portion of Myanmar. However, they will be more stable. Maybe. No, okay. It wouldn't matter either way. Bhutan being the ever-loving Iron Dragon light in the sea of China. They are now completely surrounded. I would not like to be in Bhutan's position. They will probably get absolutely destroyed. Now, Kazakhstan has rebel problems, communist revolutionaries. So we may see another communist state very soon. And this will be the largest in land area, I do believe. And North Korea is... Why have they done... Okay, that makes sense with their description of it. Okay, I wouldn't say North Korea is a socialist state. It's a one-party dictatorship, kind of. It's similar to China, but at the same... It's like a similar political system, but at the same time a bit more extreme, maybe? A bit more oppressive, a bit more weird, wacky, antisocial, ironically, considering they've named it a socialist state here. Anyway, we have American noble rebels, so it looks like the affluent of America are getting angry. Interestingly, it's in one of America's poorest areas, Areptho. Well, at least in this game. So let's have a look. Now, the wars have died off. There's still quite some long ones. The Argentinian, Uruguayan nationalist war, which I thought would have been very quick and very decisive, is not. Probably the simplest way of putting it. Somehow the Uruguayans are still occupying a lot of central Argentina. Just go conquer already, Argentina. You can do it. You need all you can get to stand up to Brazil. And we have the Indonesians and Bruneians still going at it. And, whoo-wee! They managed to occupy all of Borneo before the Indonesians landed a force. Now, interestingly, and they're gone. Well then, 9,000 separatists are going to march out and probably get destroyed here. We have the Pakistani purge of heresy, Iranian heresy, excuse me, and the Senegalese-Gambian nationalist war. And the Iranian-Armenian imperialist war is still going on. Looks like Iran is going to be cut in two right here. Okay, no. Pakistan has peaced out. We did not realize they have taken a lot of southeastern Iran, and that's some decent development for Pakistan. That actually rhymed. I'm surprised. Anyway, Khorasan and Tabaristan have been forced out of Iran. They are somehow being destroyed by Armenia. This should not happen, but it has. Turkey has managed to occupy Azerbaijan, which is, ironically, there's more Azerbaijanis in modern-day Iran than there is in Azerbaijan. Go figure that one out. Urmia, or Rumie, and Maraga. What else is going on? We had the Senegalese-Gambian nationalist war. We may as well check that out. Senegalese-Gambian. The Senegalese did quite well at Guinea's expense, and well, Guinea-Bissau is still there, but at Guinea's expense, that's very... Segu has been released. I do not know that nation. It does not exist in our timeline, but it is probably a local tribe. Anyway, Mali made some very, very nice gains off the Ivory Coast. Sierra Leone got left alone. Chad has, of course, occupied northeastern Cameroon, and they've been chipped away a bit. It looks like Central Africa got in on the party as well. No, they did not. Okay, so Nigeria did a second war then? Maybe. Against Cameroon. Anyway, it was rather quick. Ironically, Central Africa, the Central African Republic, is the most stable of the countries right now. So the Democratic Republic of Congo, okay, they own Rwanda. We did not get to see that. That's my fault. Congo, or Luanda, still an exclave of Angola. Angola managing to take out most of Namibia and the Okavango and Itengi provinces taken by Zambia. Namibia is now isolated to some very, very barren land. However, I do believe they still have Windhoek. Yes, they do. So they still have their capital, but I do not know why that was not capitalized on or taken. Tanzania has expanded at Mozambique's expense. Quite a bit of expense as well. They've lost most of their northern land. What else do we have going on? Not very much. 2 new wars, but the other ones have ended. So we have the Indonesian-Thai nationalist war and the Russian-Japanese imperialist war. Who began that one? Okay, so the Russians began that one. They should have figured out that they need to move people to Siberia first before declaring, but oh well. I do not know why there are so many Japanese stationed on the Kurils. Oh wait, no. That is a Russian area. But 58,000 people to occupy an island chain. In my opinion, it's overkill, but I mean, Iwo Jima, how many was it? 20,000 Americans or something? No, 20,000 defenders, though, Japanese defenders, and 26,000 Americans, I do believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. I often am. when it comes to remembering numbers in concerning history. So, Moldova does not exist. Russia completely wiped them off the face of the earth. Serbia and Montenegro, it looks like they want to form Yugoslavia again, after having full annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina. They're repeating 1991 here, which was kind of the breakup of Yugoslavia. Slovenia has been fully occupied by Croatia. Very nice for Croatia, that's a good bit of development. So, the Czech Republic has gained 3 of the 4 Slovakian provinces. Poland owns Maramaros, which they got from Ukraine. And Hungary did not get full annex, but they did certainly lose quite a bit of their land. What else do we have going on? We have the Malian Seguian Nationalist War. They have quite a few allies. That's going to be interesting to check out. And the Zambian Angolan Nationalist War. Okay, so let's check out the Malians. So, Mali, thinking, oh yes, this will be fine, is now up against 4 nations. Now, they could have called in Ghana, Togo, and Nigeria, and this war would have been over yesterday. However, that is not the case. So, now we have Mali likely on the run. No, they have occupied Segu and the capital of Burkina Faso. I just repeated myself, I do apologise. Excuse me. So, Mauritania has lost out up against Senegal, but they own quite a significant amount. Algeria, of course, took quite a bit of Morocco's hinterland. Interesting. Ironically, they still own Rio de Oro, which in real life they don't own fully, anyway. And also they're not legally meant to be occupying it, but oh well. We'll get into the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic at a later date. It's not in this timeline. Botswana? Why have they... I do believe that is a typo on the mod creator's part. Interesting. However, the mod creator, I do not believe, is updating Extended Timeline anymore. This is why I am doing this mod now and not later. We're going to do a reboot of a popular series that has been around for 9 months or something. It's one of the newer series on the channel, which is rather sad. And we've already had to do a reboot of it, but oh well. So, Botswana, Namibian, Nationalist War. That's going to be pretty decisive for Botswana. They're going to gain a bit of terrible land, but that's still gains. Gains are gains. Ethiopian Yemeni Imperialist War, so that's Somalia and Yemen up against Ethiopia, so that's going to be a 2-front war and across a strait. This is going to be not a challenge for Ethiopia, but they're going to have to manage quite their infantry quite well, and they may have to walk all the way through Egypt, Sudan, and in the end Israel, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia in order to get to Yemen, as they can't cross here due to one boat. And the Ethiopians have no navy, so it looks like they're just going to pick on Somalia. The Indonesian-Thai war is still raging on. How have the Thai done this? I'm actually quite glad, because usually it's the Indonesians having complete and utter control over Southeast Asia. Now, thankfully, this is not what's happening here. However, I fear, as China already borders Thailand, that may be too late. They do have a truce with Cambodia, which is interesting. I think they may have... Yes, Cambodia was in the war with Myanmar, but they probably peaced out early because they didn't want their entire nation being destroyed. So, what else do we have? The Russian... Let's go check up on that. Looks like the Russians are losing out quite heavily. Yes, Vladivostok. Yes, Vladivostok, Iman Yaran, Bahori, Nikolaev on Amur, North and South Sakhalin, Myogasan, Kuru, Brisha, Habarovsk. I kind of do this just so I learn how to pronounce the name, so I don't get it wrong at a later date. Which, you know, you're going to experience for the first couple of episodes. I'm recording this all in quite successive amounts, so there's going to be just random stops at points, and I'm just going to end off. I may add in a little something saying, "Thank you for watching," or something along those lines, but it probably won't happen. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. What has started the Israelite reconquest of... I really wish there was a sort by start time. Israelite reconquest of Al-Quds, and that's Israel and Saudi Arabia. Odd bed couple. Up against Palestine, Syria, and Egypt. Well, considering that Israel in real life absolutely destroyed Syria and Egypt way back in 1970 somewhere, 1960 I think, and thus led to the occupation of the Golan Heights, which isn't displayed on this map, ironically. Somebody has Syrian preferences over Israel, but that's... I'm not too worried about that. So Syria is in quite a good position in our timeline right now. Mexican and Costa Rican nationalist war. Let's go check that out. Oh, it's already over. Oh well. Bye, Costa Rica. Mexico is going to absolutely destroy Central America with no intervention from the US, because in this timeline it looks like the US is quite a benevolent being instead of a interventionist, let's just say. Canada is still rather poor in this timeline, and the big boom has not happened in North Dakota yet. The big oil boom. So, what else is happening? We do not have that much right now. Ethiopian Yemeni, we have already seen that. Righto. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. For now, we will see what happens next time on the Extended Timeline mod.